Hello, everybody. It's Gloria from Gigi the Crochet Queen. Welcome back to my channel. Let's see who joins me today as I finish my mm, checkered bucket hat. Uh, that is annoying. Hey, Gloria, how are you today? Thank you for joining me. What are you working on? What is your weather like? And I hope you had a thumbs up when you came in. Oops, got to turn off my sound. Mm, that sound is on vibrate. Ooh, it is smoking hot here. We can't even go and cool off in the water because the water is hot too. Right now, let me see. Well, at 4:27, it was 91. Let's see what it is now. '89, so it went down 2 degrees in an hour and a half. Whew. I'm working on this checkered bucket hat. And then I'm going to work on, oh, that's the top back there that I was working on, that the lady Malika from Good Trouble. I just haven't figured out the hoodie part, but I got the, and it's very hot. That 4-weight acrylic yarn, whew, I can't wear that until we actually have a cold day. And if I don't get the hoodie part figured out, that's all right. I got the majority of it figured out. And it wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. I looked up that top sold for $371 and is out of stock. And oh shoot, I never even turned my thing on. Let me see. I missed some hours. I have this app that I use every now and again just to see if I could get a real feel of the price of when I price items. And right now, this one is, even though I forgot to turn it on, but right now it is pricing out at 123. So I figure, considering all the time that I put into it, it'll probably be around that. Lori said it did thumbs up, 75. Oh my goodness, after all the 97-degree weather we had all week, I'm working on a window stitch top for my jumpsuit for a banquet in a couple of weeks. Ooh, now exactly what's a window stitch top? That sounds interesting. I haven't worn a jumpsuit in God only knows how long. I think I have 2. Oh, I take that back. I have one that I do throw on, because it's a halter top jumpsuit, and I throw it on, to walk around, be cool then. But the other one that I have, it's, like, too much work to get in and out of, but I bought it because it was red and pretty, and I think I've worn it once or twice. I don't even know if I can wear it now. Yeah, probably can't. If I could, it'd probably be really tight on me now. Cause the sister has gained some weight since I bought that, now that I think about it. I can put the invite up if you if you wanna show it to me. I can see what it looks like. I'm always I like to see things. Does that mean that, that's the part everybody's gonna be looking at? I don't know the window chain stitch. Never heard of it. You want me to send the invite so you can come on and show it to me? Teach me something new. My friend and I, we got tickets for training camp tomorrow. I am so excited because it's the first day of training camp. I was so disappointed that we didn't get them, um, because all those fair weather fans jumped on the bandwagon because we got that new cornerback who is now out for injury. So one of the ladies that we met on the cruise, she was able to send us tickets. So we'll be there tomorrow. I'm so excited. Football season is back. Can't wait. This is the only thing I do not like about using two skeins of yarn. I always get tangled up. Mm, I need to make a little bracelet for my doll. Come on out. You should just twirl thing, twirl, twirl. Oh, doesn't want to cooperate. Come on, man. Only have a little bit more of this hat to do. I cannot wait to be done with it. I'm making this hat for my dentist because he likes blue. So I figured since I'm almost finished with my braces, I figured I'd make him a hat. It's my going away gift. I didn't make him one when they first took him off. No gift, but this one I'll do. Because hopefully everything will be right this time around and I can be finished with braces all together. Okay, so that is not doing what I wanted to do. I only have a little bit more to do. Hey, Crystal Divergent Crafter. How are you today? Thank you for joining me. And I hope you get a thumbs up. What are you working on? What's your weather like? Are you all cooking like the rest of the country? If you were on last night, you see my friend is doing quite well with her cocoon cardigan. So I have faith that she will finish it in time for her. But she may not be able to wear it because it's still hot here. And in September, it'll probably still be just as hot. But she said they're having their, what do you call it? Homecoming in December up in Tallahassee. So she should be all right to wear it then because I'm sure in December in Tallahassee, it's going to be chilly. Okay, creating with Kita. Did I say it right this time? She told me I said it wrong last time. Hey, hey again. Thank you for joining me. And I hope you thumbs up. What are you working on? What's your weather like? Hot here in DC. Oh, I bet you it is smoking hot. I remember the first time I went to DC, it was in May and it was hot. When I was in the Army, my first tour of duty was Washington, D.C., Walter Reed Army Medical Center. Best assignment I could ever had. It was just like having a job and not really being in the Army. Loved it. Let me see. Just woke up from a nap due to loud thunder. Ooh, you all had some real weather, huh? Premium Starlight, how many years have you been crocheting? Ooh, um, ooh, let me see. Uh, uh, a very long time. And I'm still learning all of the time. Ooh, child, let me check that out. It's been a minute. 44 years. That's a long time. Kita. Okay. Thank you for letting me know, Kita. Let me see. I posted it in the group on my page. Okay. So that must have been what just popped up. Have you gotten into the revenue stream of crochet with YouTube? Huh? If that's such a thing, not really. But if you're on here for that reason, don't. That's not what we're here for. We're here for just talk about crochet. Oh, I cannot wait to see this because I cannot even envision what this is going to look like. Oh, yeah, I'm going to be looking. I'm definitely going to be looking for the finished product, the finished project of that. And Miss Glows is on it. Her hook stays on fire. Mine's on fire, but it's simmering. Hers is smoldering. Where there is fire, there is smoke, and that's where Miss Glows. Um, I'm working on a checkered bucket hat right now. I'm going to give this to my dentist as he likes blue, and I'm hoping that in a couple of months I will be free of these braces. I don't even have my rubber bands on because that new triangle position that I have to wear those rubber bands are real uncomfortable. So I'm not wearing it, but when I get off of this live, I'll put them on. I just didn't want to put them on. I shouldn't go this long, but it's only a little while. Not like the whole night. I do make sure I put them on at night. So I finished, I got all my hats ready for the new football season, and I'm ready. Have you made the corner to corner stitch to make a hat? Yeah, I did that a few years ago from a pattern. I did the corner to corner stitch for the hat and for the scarf, and I have no idea where it is right now. Let me see. I decided I might as well nap before the aliens take over. Just kidding, actually. Just exhausted from this week's heat. Oh yeah, this heat is kicking butt and taking names. Mm, no, I don't like Tunisian crochet at all. I've tried a few times, but um, it's just not my thing. Mm. I've followed a few people that do Tunisian. I like it, but I always say I think it's just so close to knitting, and I hate the way it curls on you. And everybody's, oh, you just got to use a larger hook, and everybody's got a way to prevent it. But I have yet to be successful at it. I did watch TL Crafts. I think that's her channel, Tony, um, on this the real simplest way to start. I think the simple stitch or something. And I watched it because one of the other issues I was having was, you watch so many different people that really don't explain it, and you just try to watch them to see what they're doing. And I always messed up the end of the Tunisian. So when I watched her, I said, "Oh, okay, I get it now. I see why I keep messing it up." So I initially was going to again try to make a um, just a simple washcloth with it, and I started, and I have done like 5 other crochet projects since I started that, and it is like probably 3 rows, and it's probably the 3 rows that I watched her do. So no. Uh, Tunisian is all right if you're making a sweater and sewing seams together. Mm-mm. I don't want to do all that. Let me see. I rather knit than do Tunisian. Yeah, Tunisian is a to me it's a lot closer to knitting, and I don't know. I don't know how to knit, and that's probably the other. Just like when I use my knitting machines, I don't know how to fix the drop stitches because I don't know how to knit. So I'm always like watching more and more and more tutorials to figure out. I end up just pulling it all, just taking it all off the machine and starting all over again because I can never really. I'm no good at figuring out how to fix those drop stitches. And every time I start a hat on my knitting machine, I was like, okay, please, 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 no drop stitches. And they are so obvious when you finish the thing and you look at it and you see all those drop stitches. Like you got to really pay attention to that. That is for sure. Keep your attention. What yarn do you like for washcloths better? Cotton. Oh, cotton. I always do cotton because the acrylic doesn't hold its shape, and the cotton yarns are better. for washcloths and dishcloths and stuff like that. Is acrylic not very absorbent if at all? Yeah. Just like I see a lot of the young ones do bathing suits and stuff with the acrylic yarn. Mm-mm. Because when that yarn gets wet, it's gonna droop right on down. But I don't, and I don't do bathing suits, and I can do a halter top in acrylic and stuff like that, but I wouldn't do like a bikini bottom or something like that in acrylic because it's not gonna hold that water so well. What size yarn do you recommend for washcloth? Do you use? No, mm-mm. No. You can. I mean, you can use any size that you want. Um, but if I'm making one, I'm going to use 4 weight. I always use 4 weight for stuff like that. The fingering yarn, if I had to use that, I would double it because it's just too thin. She said, imagine a bikini top crochet in ocean. Hmm? I'm so glad I am on this last one because I am just going to cut this and make one color because this is driving me to drink. I did my last little Temu um, shopping, and then I deleted the app and blocked them. But I play these games on my phone, and Temu ads come up constantly. And talk about getting swamped by from acrylic. Ooh, that is so true. Hey, Brianna, how are you today? Thank you for coming back again. We had a good time late last night. It would fall off. Crochet bikini top would fall off. Yeah, I mean, when you get into that ocean, yeah, it might stay on, but most likely it's coming off because that water, you can't hold that water like cotton does, and it's not going to hold its shape. So that will not be a pretty sight, not at all. Yeah, Chris says you can add elastic to anything you crochet. That's true, and that will keep it on. That would definitely keep everything in its place. I bought a whole bunch of elastic. Thought I was going to be making those fedora hats that Gloria was making, and I made all of one. I said, I'm leaving this right where it is with Miss Clothes. Because this one, mm-mm. Oh, no, 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 no. I didn't want to do, I want to do that in the light blue and do the crab stitch in the dark blue. Make sure I don't cut the wrong thing because then I'll be in trouble. I wouldn't be in trouble. I just have more. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to do this as my crab stitch. And now I only have to work with one skein of yarn. Have you ever made granny square pants? No. Mm-mm. No. I've seen them. No. I don't tend to follow the trends unless it's something that really catches my eye. Like when Gloria was doing the fedora hats, I really liked them. I said, "Oh, I'm going to try that." Even though it wasn't quote unquote a trend, but it was her trend. She was hot on fire with those. And then, oh, I shouldn't have cut that. I should have. Too late now. I should have just carried it. Well, not carried it, but just dropped it. Anywho, too late now. That's what happens when you're talking and not thinking. But I've seen my friends always send me memes of stuff like that, but I've never done it. I've never crocheted shorts, although I've tried a few times. Never finished them. Um, but no, not my thing. Not my thing. Hey, Regina, how are you today? Thank you for joining me. What are you working on? What is your weather like? That is what size crochet hook are you using for that hat? This one is a 4.5. If I was doing just a regular beanie, I would use an eye hook, a 5.5 eye hook. But this is just um, I was following. This is from someone else's pattern, and that's what she used. And if I used an eye hook, this thing would be like a huge hat because you're doing so many stitches. It goes up to 84 stitches. So if you're using an eye hook, 84 stitches in an eye hook is like for Andre the Giant or something like that. It's not for a regular size head. Let me see. I need to get back on my Lotus blanket, a baby blanket, but being lazy, hanging with hubby, welding in his heat. Ooh, in this heat this week left me exhausted. Oh, I bet my daddy was a welder. Ooh, this heat and all that heat that comes from welding, yeah, you're exhausted. What were you doing? Were you all making something? That sounds cool. That you weld. You like? I'm a Susan Bates um Clover. Susan Bates is what I learned with, and Clover is what I use 99% of the time. I have tons of them. I'm always misplacing them, so I have other hooks like this one that I'm using. This is the tulip, but it's kind of like the clover hooks. And I also have some prime hooks, which I like streamline hooks. And I have a couple of, who's that person? Furls. They're okay. But Clover is like my go-to hook now. But Susan Bates, if Susan Bates had the same kind of padding on it, because like this padding is good, but Clover hooks are, I've never had any problems with my Clover hooks. Um, but yeah, Susan Bates is definitely the first set of hooks that I learned how to crochet with. And I don't even know how I came across these clovers, but however I came across them, I'm very happy, very, very happy I did. I love them. This is so 4.5. No, a 4.5 is 7. A G hook is usually a 4.0 hook. Is it 89 and a storm is approaching? Ooh, we probably have one tonight. I'm surprised we haven't had one already. These storms are just, I think it's rained every day for, we may have had one day in the month of July, maybe a couple, that it didn't rain. Hey, Jeanette of DIY Creations, how are you today? Thank you for joining me. What are you working on? What's your weather like? Let me see. Ooh, where'd it go? Let me see. Trying to get certified. Oh, at work, but then I failed the certification due to one area, and the job I got promoted to, I still tack weld. Plan on retesting soon in case they can. Yeah, put my, in case they can. I can put, oh, on your, put welding on your applications? I didn't even, well, of course, my daddy is from a different generation. I don't even know if he was ever certified to weld or they just taught him because he just, and unfortunately for me, he's, his sight is gone pretty much. He's legally blind, but he was such a help to me. Home ownership thing is no joke when you can't fix things. And he used to fix a lot of things for me. Now I got to pay people to do it. I am in South Florida, hot, hot Florida. Oh, Jeanette saying hi to everybody. The weather is nice and I was working on a hat. What kind of hat? You said you were in the military. Did you crochet while you did CQ? What's CQ? Yeah, I've been crocheting. Yeah, my yarns always, once I got the bug for it, because I learned right before I went into the army. And then I just bought some yarn and I took it with me. And once I got to permanent party, then I have books. Because way back when there was no such thing as YouTube, so and I didn't have any formal classes. I was a nursing assistant before I went into the army, and I used to do rounds. And I went to a lady. She was at a nursing home or a skilled nursing facility, whatever. She probably was at a skilled nursing facility because she was ambulatory and all. But I went in and she was crocheting baby booties, and I think I still have the pattern because I actually wrote it, and I think I still have what I wrote, and I don't think I've ever. Now that I'm better at crocheting, I don't know if I've ever tried it again, but I know I think it's up there somewhere. I don't know, but she was doing these baby booties, and I was so fascinated because I'd never seen anybody crochet before. Because back, I don't even think they had people. They usually have people knitting on television, but I never saw anybody crocheting, and I was fascinated. So I would do my rounds, and I would make sure she would be the last person I had to see, so she could show me things. And I think only had her for like a week, something like that. So after I didn't see her anymore, I went to, what was the name of that store? Used to have, oh, I can't even think of the name of it now. Oh, wow. It's been so long because the store doesn't exist anymore. I know it was a W name, but I can't remember. It might come to me. But I went and I bought my hooks and my little yarn. I bought crochet book. I still have the book that I bought. Um, and I still go back to it because it was simple little patterns. And I just learned and tried to figure things out and had patterns galore. And I was talking to my friend that was here last night. I was talking to her one day about wanting to learn how to do something. And she's like, go to YouTube. I was like, what's YouTube? So I'm now on YouTube, so, um, but I learned a lot from YouTube University, and, one of the first things that I really wanted to learn was front post and back post, because at the time I never could figure out what the heck front post and back post was, how to do it. And I was watching Gla what is her Made with Love with by Glama, or something like that. Her channel is, she doesn't do the crocheting anymore. She sells like the jewelry now. I think every now and again she'll post a crochet tutorial, but her channel, if I'm not mistaken, her channel was the first one that I watched that she did the front post and back post crochet, and that's where I learned that from. And Crystal Bagaday Crochet was the first time I actually made a top for myself from one of her patterns. So I was following those two, and then I found Natasia, and then I found Little John Yarns, and I found Jeanette of DIY Creations. So those five channels were like the main channels that I watched for a long time. And then I started seeing other people in between, but they were like my main channels for a long time. Let me see. Oh, charge a quarter, 24-hour. Oh, I haven't heard that. I don't think we use that term in the Army. It doesn't sound familiar to me. At least it could be. But I've been out of the Army as long. I've had a career in the Army. I was a career in the hospital. Now I'm a nurse case manager for workers' comp. So I've had like three big careers in these. So the Army stuff, I've been out of the Army, let me see, 29 years. I've been out of the Army 29 years. So all that lingo is over my head right now. Working on a new hat pattern by Angie. New hat. Who's Angie? Let me see. They are, oh, a union factory. So the certifications are through the union. Okay. Yeah, those unions, they don't just let nobody in, honey. You got I watch this show. I don't know if anybody else watches it, but I love it. Toughest Nails. I like it because they do all kinds of jobs that I would never do in my entire life because I'm not skilled with that equipment. Well, now I definitely wouldn't do it. And when I was young, I have no had no interest in it. Even though my daddy was a welder and he would take us, they used to have like, there was a lumber yard, and they used to have like uh, a festival or something like that, like during Thanksgiving time, and they had like hammering contests and stuff like that. And my sister won the hammering contest because daddy would take us, and we would tinker and stuff. She would tinker more than me. But and when she won that contest, she won a turkey. It was such a cool thing. And that lumber company is long gone too. But Tough as Nails, they do all kinds of stuff, and all these jobs that I never even think about, like I would have an interest in doing. But it's like the last time a lady won, I think they win like 250,000 in a big Ford truck or something like that. They win, and a lady won. And it really, it's not real brute strength a lot of times. It's, using your head and having some familiarity with whatever the task is and stuff. I was like, ooh. And they have a few, it's to this season, they're in Canada, so they have some Canadians and Americans, and I love the show. I love seeing all these different things because then you have a better perspective of different jobs that people have to do. They did one job where they had to get like silkworms out of a container and put them in another one. I was like, That was the grossest. Nah, I'm not. I would have said, time out. Somebody else can do this. I never saw anyone crocheting on TV until a brief show on SCTV, South Carolina. Oh, okay. I'm like, now you every now and again you see, but you always see crochet items in people's living rooms, but you rarely see someone crocheting. You always see there's always a grandmama on some show knitting, but crocheting, mm-mm. No, it wasn't Woolworths. It was I guess it was for our region. It was a different store. Could have been Walden's or something like that. I can't remember, but it wasn't Woolworths because it was a craft store, but I can't remember the name of it now because it's long gone. Grandma Crochet has been traveling to. Oh, has she? Yeah, I think her and her husband they've been retired for a while. Because I know she a long time ago, years ago, she was I think they were building a house and they were like in a trailer at the time, but I can't remember. It's been too long. I have CRS people, and if you don't know what that is, I won't say it, but I have it. Hey, Janita, how are you today? Thank you for joining. She says, hello, everyone in the chat. Hot here in Wichita. Ooh, 101. Oh my goodness, that is hot. Oh, it's been hot temperature last few days. Yeah, a lot of places are really on fire. Definitely on fire. Did you spot Yolanda Soto Lopez? I just caught her. Actually, I started watching her after watching Jeanette of DIY Creations because Jeanette was making flowers for her hat, and she said that she got that pattern from her channel, and that's when I started watching her channel. But I know that if I'm not mistaken, I think because isn't she the all crochet? I think her channel is all crochet. I think she's the one that her daughter passed away. I could be mistaken, but I think that's what I remember. That's how I learned to crochet working at a nursing home from a resident. Oh, okay, been hooked since then. She made pot holders and sold them to the CNAs. Oh, that's cool. We have that in common. Yeah, you learn a lot from those ladies. Where'd it go to? Show it, show it, show it. But those trade jobs is where the money. Yes, it is. Yeah, that is for sure. I'm in South Florida, and this is an anti union state. They don't want nobody to be unionized. We do have one hospital in Miami, Jackson Memorial. They are unionized and they get paid well. When I was at the hospital, they there was a the union came to try to get us unionized, and the people that were working with the union, like going around talking to us, they fired them. Ooh, hey, Teamy Twisted Zones. Did I say it right? How are you today? Thank you for joining me. What's your weather like? What you working on? And I hope that you did a thumbs up when you came in, saying hi back. Yeah, those jobs definitely, and a lot of the people that are on Tough as Nails, a lot of them are in the unions. But it's a really good show. Now that all the writers are on strike, a lot of good thing they bank shows because a lot of this stuff is recorded months before it's actually shown, and so all of the game shows and stuff are not reruns, but and the soap operas aren't reruns because I gotta watch My Young and Restless. News isn't rerun, but pretty much everything else is a rerun. Did you ever watch Harold Dorset I don't know who that is. He would sing sometimes, had a really good voice. Nope, I don't know who that is. Let me see. Hey Diane, how are you today? Oh, I like that thumbnail. Oh, they got a bucket hat. I mean a checkered hat. Checkered bucket hat. That's what I'm working on. That's cool. I like that red. I haven't done a red and white one. You're giving me ideas, but as of last night, I got to stay focused because I can't be starting nothing new. I'm subscribed to hit the thumb. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let me see. Heck, I was so mad because the idiots here in Tennessee voted against job protection when trying to unionize with. I know. I know. People do not understand how important sometimes you need some protection because, and the Florida is a, what is it called? A right to work state or something like that. I forgot. It's got some name, but basically means you don't have, nobody has to give you a job or keep your job or anything like that. It's not right. Oh, what is it? Am I saying that right? I don't know. But it's really, really, it's hard. And the cost of living here is ridiculous and everybody's getting paid pennies on the dollar, so everybody's struggling. I'm just eating dinner. Ooh, I'm gonna do some curry chicken and throw it in the oven when I get out. Am I throwing it in the oven? Yeah, I'm throwing it in the oven. Well, no, I gotta braise it first. Is it called braising? As you know, I am not a cook. Yeah, we need some protection. There are two right to work and free will, which means you don't have work protection. Okay, well, that's Florida. In a nutshell. They don't want us to learn anything and they don't want to let us get a good job and they don't care about your rights on nothing unless it's theirs. Yeah, right to work, right to fire. That's it. That is it. I tell you, gotta be thinking about who has your best interest at heart because a lot of these people do not. Oh boy. Oh, did I go backwards? Or did you say that twice? Let me see, which means you don't have work. Let me see. Jeanette saying hi, and she's saying hi to Jeanette. So I'm gonna finish this. I have my list of to dos are long, 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 long. But I'm gonna I have to. I think when I finish this hat, when I'm off this live, then I'm gonna go and work on my graft. I'm hoping that I can do. It'll be an oversized cardigan because my graft is. Anybody on here knows how to use fiddle faddle? Why do you call it? Stitch fiddle? I don't know why fiddle faddle is food. Stitch fiddle because my graft is very big. I want to do a cardigan with the Miami Dolphins logo on the back of it because I saw this lady's cardigan with her star for the Dallas Cowboys, and I was like, oh no, we cannot let Dallas outdo us. So I saw that, and I was like, oh, I want to do that. And so the ladies on that group chat, they were helping me and trying to help me size it and everything. And I printed it out. It's 109. Is it 109 by? Oh, I forgot. I wrote it down somewhere so I would be able to refer back to it. But it's big, and so it turns out that my thing is gonna have to be, yeah, it's 109. Oh no, 108 by 90. So that's pretty big. And I'm doing single crochets. I think even with single crochets, it's probably still, well, I already did 3 rows of it. So I already know it's going to be, it comes all the way right around the half of my boob area. So I only have a little part to make it into a cardigan. So I said it's just going to have to be an oversized cardigan because I can't get it any smaller. On new workers, cash base can apply for unemployment. What's GIG? Ooh, I think I'm getting an education over here. We need to bring unions back. I bet you the pay would go up then. Yeah, yep. Thank you, Diane. I appreciate that. Yep, they sure do. Hey, King Morgan, happy Saturday to you as well. What are you working on? You're the gamer, correct? Yeah, because you know that's why people strike because I can't go on strike because nobody's gonna save me. But if you're a part of a union and it don't all work out, people go on strike. I mean, even the NFL has a union. What? A hot son? Who you telling? Hmm. My employer it was unionized, but few are in it. But I feel that it's soon to change. We have a new steward and my big mouth there now. Yeah, yearning for a smile. How are you today? Thank you so much for joining me. I cannot stay because of my anniversary and spending time with the hubs, but I wanted to pop in and leave a thumb. Hugs and love to all. Thank you so much. Happy anniversary. Enjoy it. Saying hi. Saying laugh. Yeah. And that's the other thing. And, in order to have a union, you got to have people to contribute to the union. That money changes things, whether people realize it or not. That dues that they put in, it could be the difference between you being on unemployment and having a job. And it makes a big difference on your pay too. Like I said, the one unionized hospital down there in Miami, they are certainly paid well. I'm just trying to get to retirement at this point with my mind, body, and soul intact. Ah, and happy anniversary, saying happy anniversary. Yes, I'm going to work on that graph. I've only done 3 rows, so I'm going to try to knock out. Let me see, on the 11th row is when I actually change colors. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get to at least the row that I'm starting to add some color because right now I just have white. So that's the seven rows I'm going to have, no, 8 rows I'm going to have to do. And I really don't like working single crochet, but I can't do double crochets because then it'll be a blanket. And I don't want a blanket. I want it to be a cardigan. All right, let's do this crab stitch and call it a day with this. This puppy will be finished. Now it'll be ready when my next appointment. And I can get on with my life on my next projects. So I got too doggone many that need to get finished. I know VJ says she can't do the crab stitch because she just can't crochet backwards. I love the crab stitch. It is my favorite way to finish out my hats, if I can finish it that way. I like that rope effect that it looks like. My grandpa was a union steward for over 20 years. They didn't know how they was hiring. Asked the bigger boss if he knew my grandpa, and he said, "Yep." And oh, you're Charlie's granddaughter. Big That's good. You got some legacy there. My crab stitch always looks wonky to me. When I first started doing it, I always like, I don't know about that. But the more I practiced, the more it started to look like what I thought it was supposed to look like. So now I'm pretty good at it. At least I think I am. I say I am. Gives it a little bit more oomph than just doing a single crochet around. I got learning how to do grains. Don't feel bad. If you haven't done it for a while, sometimes you just have to go back and say, "Hey, how did I do that again?" That's the way I like last night. I was trying to show Adrienne the corner to corner because Lori J was on, and she said she was doing a blanket. I asked her, I said, "Are you doing corner to corner?" And she said, "Yeah." And Adrienne's like, "What's corner to corner?" So then I was showing her, and then I flipped it the wrong way. I said, I'm doing something wrong. I said, I'm going to have to go back and look at my own video to remember how to do corner to corner. Unlike granny square, I can pick it up and do it, but sometimes some of these stitches, you just got to go and refer back to it. And I've learned a lot of people, I think a lot of, well, corner to corner, you really can't change much except for either do a half double crochet or double crochet. I don't think I've ever seen anybody do single crochets. But granny squares, everybody's doing, and there's so many um, tutorials on how to make the perfect granny square and stuff. And I remember when I learned how to do a granny square, and then after watching YouTube so much, I started doing mine differently. And I always like, there's something about this I don't like, and I could never figure it out. And one day I was watching Aniqua, and I don't know what she was doing that granny square for, but it was on her. If you all don't know who Aniqua is, she's one of the ones that makes dolls, and she was doing her granny square, and I was like, "OMG, that's how I used to do my granny square." So ever since I watched hers, I went back to the way I used to do my granny squares, and I'm very, very happy now that I did do that because watching all the way other people do, I was like, I don't like that. Sometimes I do it, the way other people do it because sometimes it may change the way the pattern is, but overall, I try to stick with what I know. as they say, brain muscle. If you already know how to do it, you just go right back to doing it. I like doing the cam. Oh, I did in place of the crab stitch. Do they coming out wonky? Oh, hmm. Now I made one of my friends. He moved to Seattle. Yeah, Seattle, and asked him. I said, "I can make you some hat because it's cold and rainy there." And of course, he wanted a hat for every team that he likes. And I don't think I did all of them, but I did the camel. I made a camel stitch hat, but I'm trying to, because it's been so long since I did it. I don't remember even how the camel stitch was worked up, but I did a full hat doing the camel stitch. Hmm. I'm gonna have to check that out and have to find that pattern. Tomorrow I go to Turbine's place to teach how to crochet. Oh, I mean tambourines. Oh, what's Tammarine's place? In my retirement, I'd like to do something like that. She's a newbie on crochet. Who's a newbie on crochet? You teaching her to I got it. Duh. Missed that part. Well, that should be fun. Hardest part about crochet is maintaining your tension once you learn. That's what you have to learn, how to maintain your tension, because it definitely makes a difference. If you're loose, if you're tight. The one like Adrienne last night, she is a loose crocheter. One of my other friends who I haven't heard from in eons, she's a tight crocheter. I remember when she did the granny square, I was like, how did you get those stitches that tight? Oof, she doesn't even need um a smaller hook because she crochets so tight. It helps me to remember. Yeah, yep, a lot. So I try to stick with the stuff that comes naturally to me. That's why I guess I don't do well with what's that one? Now I can't even think of it. That's how unfamiliar it is with me. Tunisian. One stitch I learned because I bought the pattern and I was like, what the heck? If anybody saw the Toby when she did the Bernie Sanders, I bought her pattern. And so while I was looking at it, I was like, what is this? And so she has the knit stitch, which is also called, oh, what is the other name for it? The knit stitch, and I can't think of it. I'm sure somebody on here knows what the other one is. And I had never heard of it and had never done it. So I had to find a tutorial on it. And when she does the mittens for that little amigurumi, that's what she uses to make the mittens, the knit stitch. I was like, oh, okay. And if you go on to YouTube to look up anything, they'll continuously send you more tutorials on that same stitch. Let me see. Well, I've got to get my shots ready. Thank you. Talk to you later, Hugs to all. Okay. Thank you for joining me. Have a good one. I would be considered a tight crocheter, but I always go up one or two hook sizes to get good drape, unless it's an amigurumi or basket. Oh, you probably have some awesome, awesome amigurumis and baskets because that's where you definitely need tight stitches. I think I'm in the middle. I'm not too loose and I'm definitely not tight. So, and sometimes um, what's her Crystal's patterns, I always seem to be able to do hers and they all turn out the right. So I say she and I crochet the same. But some people's patterns, mine turns out much bigger and it's like, okay, all right. And I'm terrible about doing the swatches. That's just extra time I just do not have to give up. So, and the gauge swatches. And I said I would probably do better if I took the time to do the gauge swatch. That was one of the things with doing Stitch Fiddle. One of the tutorials that I watched, she was like, do a gauge swatch and then enter that information in to get what you want. I was like, gauge swatch, girl, who has time for that? So I'm sure if I did the gauge swatch, I'd probably be able to get this thing right. But I just said, well, I'm just going to use the information they gave me. And when I put in the information and pulled up my graph, the graph had 20 colors in it. I'm like, who knew this thing had that many colors in it? But I whittled it down to 4 colors because I said those are the no, actually, I think it 6 or 7 colors, but I'm only gonna be actually using 4 colors. And matter of fact, I need to get the teal color because I don't have any teal yarn. So I need the teal color, but I don't need that right now, but I'll get it sometime this week. Because if I really get to working on that thing before I know it, I'll be at the fin and I won't have my teal color, and I need that teal color. My graph doesn't look that great, but oh well. I'm gonna do the hopefully it'll look great when I finish it. Hopefully it will look like I want it to look. All right. I'm gonna go and get my dinner started and work on my graft a little bit more. But I thank you all for joining me, and I hope you all stay cool. Drink lots of water because it's hot. You don't know how quick you can get into heat exhaustion from being dehydrated. And don't go, what's the word, hiking alone. I see that on the news a lot. I'm like, who does that alone in this hot weather? But people do. They certainly do. Any pattern for myself never fits just right. So, no, I just find the multiples and rework it for the right fit. Yep, short and slightly fluffy with longer arms. My body isn't normal sizing, I guess. That's why you learn to do you. You get the pattern and you make it for yourself. That's what I do. Good night. Good night. Good night. Thank you for joining me. And I hope everybody has a good rest of your weekend. Everybody stay safe. Keep crocheting. Bye bye.